Good morning. This is Kitty London, host and creator of The People of Power. And look who I am sitting next to. I am so happy. This is like my first in-person interview.
Well, I'm honored.
Since the pandemic.
I'm truly honored.
I'm trying to think, am I holding myself truthful? Yes, one restaurant, but I was masked, and we are now fully vaccinated. So we get to enjoy the People of Power the way it used to be. I used to have in-person interviews. So I thank you for giving me the opportunity to break the ice again.
Well, I'm honored.
After this pandemic.
Yes, thank you.
So last time we sat together was about 2 weeks ago, couple weeks ago.
Yes.
And we were virtual, and I was getting to know who the mayor is and who he plans to be, the future mayor of West Palm Beach. Now he is the present mayor. Thank you, Mayor Keith James, for having me in your beautiful office.
Well, thank you for having me on your program.
Thank you.
And helping us spread the word about our summit coming up.
Yes, we are speaking about the June 12th summit. We are June 3rd, so we are now 9 days away from this. It's going to be a virtual summit, I understand.
Yes, it will be. Yes, it will be. And there will be no reason for people not to attend. They don't have to worry about putting on their Sunday best and going down to the convention center. They can do it from the comfort of their home. For those who don't have access to computers, we have several satellite sites where people can attend and participate. But it's so important because this is a way that we can hear from the people. The task force has been doing tremendous work, but it will be incomplete without hearing from the people about what their priorities are, what their thoughts are on many of these issues.
Okay, and before we get into the summit, for people who are not familiar with the task force, can you tell us, because I'm kind of hearing it for the first time.
Okay.
It's no fault to the city, but I'm just sometimes not as engaged as I should be.
No.
And I want to make sure that we get the information. Who is the task force and how did it become?
Well, let me tell you how it came about. It's the mayor's task force on racial and ethnic equality. And I formed it in June of last year in the wake of the George Floyd murder. Let's call it what it is. And there were demonstrations in the street. There was a lot of energy, a lot of conversation worldwide about criminal justice and racial justice. And so I said, what can I do as the mayor of this city? What can I do to capture that energy and direct it into some structural changes and policy changes for the city? So I came up on the idea of the task force. So a number of people were just having virtual conversations to talk about race, but I perceived those as kind of temporary, and I really wanted something that could lead to some significant conversations, but also some significant change. So I said, let me put together a citizens task force that will meet over a period of time, engage in some of these conversations. And also so we have 25 people, 25 citizens. We put out a call for volunteers, and we got so many people who were flooding our website with an interest in participating. And it's headed up by two very respected members of our community, Patrick Franklin, who is head of the Urban League, Michelle Diffendorfer, who is a well-respected attorney in town, white female, black male, and then 23 other people on the task force. And we tried to make it as racially diverse, obviously gender diversity, even the sexual orientation diversity as well.
DEI is in there.
Absolutely. And then underneath the task force, we have subcommittees in key policy areas: criminal justice, education and workforce development, finance, banking and business, health, and real estate and housing. Because we felt those were like the pillars of where structural racism had reared its ugly head in our city. And it's West Palm Beach specific. So the threefold mission, one is look at the history of our city. Let's be honest about our history. If you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going. Right. And the good, the bad, the ugly. So do a deep dive into the history of our city. Then look at best practices from around the nation in these various areas. And then finally, the third part of the mission is to come up with specific policy recommendations that will be directed to me as the mayor and the commission for further deliberation and debate and consideration of adoption. So that has been their mission. They've been meeting since July of last year. And rolling up the sleeves and doing the hard work.
So we're coming up to a year now.
Coming up to a year, and
Okay.
people will say, "Why it's taking so long?" I said, "Listen, I'd much rather it be done right than rushed." Okay, because this is, we're talking about 400 years of structural racism. Well, West Palm Beach is 125 years. So even if you're looking at the city, that's over a century of structural racism. You're not going to cure that overnight. You're not going to cure that with one conversation. You're not going to wave a magic wand and all of a sudden everything is better. It's going to take hard work.
Okay. Now for June 12th,
Yes.
I'm ready. Virtual event.
Virtual
For
event.
people. So can you just kind of tell people what is going to happen? Just a little bit of a prelude of what's going to happen or what they can expect.
And that's a very good question. First of all, people have to register. They have to go to WPBequality.org, WPBequalitytaskforce.org.
Okay.
WPBequalitytaskforce.org to register. Okay. And then they will be thrown into, and everybody knows Zoom these days, so it'll be Zoom, and there will be discussions. There will be periodic breakout rooms.
Okay.
There will be video presentations, and it won't just be a lot of talking heads.
Okay.
I hate in order to get people there, I don't want them to think they're just going to look at a wall of panelists and just listen. No, this is an opportunity for them to participate. There will be questions.
Okay.
It will be interactive. They will need to get their input, and so it's 4 hours. Don't let that intimidate you. We had our initial summit back in December of last year. It was a beautiful Saturday, and those 4 hours went by like it was 10 to 2 as well.
They do.
Went by. It was very
They go
quickly.
by fast.
Yes,
They go by
yes,
fast.
yes.
So when
But
you're engaged, they go by fast.
and I want people to know that they can participate. Their voice is being heard. We're not just loud and wanting you to listen. We want you to speak to us and interact with us on some of these important issues.
Now, for people who are just not familiar with the summit, because I kind of like for people to be prepared, what kind of things should people bring as far as ideals or questions or concerns to these type of summits? Is anything off limits, or are we like, listen, we want to hear from you?
Well, generally, the overarching question is how do we, what your ideas are on promoting racial and ethnic equality in those policy areas that I talked about: housing, criminal justice, education, finance, banking, and business, and health. And your life experiences. All of us have life experiences in these areas, whether it's good, bad, but we want to hear from you as to how you think the city can be better and more inclusive in those policy areas. So that's the general overarching theme. And then there'll be more specific questions. You may be asked to rank different policy suggestions and that type of thing. So
also what I'm hearing is just don't bring complaints, bring solutions. That's
Yes.
what I want people to get out of this, because we have 9 days to prepare. So if you're a citizen of West Palm Beach and you're thinking of things that can be innovative, or things how we can get together and make things better for all, being diverse, please bring that to the table, those questions.
Absolutely.
So they
Absolutely.
can answer. Now, I know people probably will sit here and say, I want to be on the task force, or I want to be a part of this. I know you're coming up. Do you ever look for new people, or how does that work with it?
No, the task force is fixed now at 25 people.
Okay.
And we did that because I wanted the folks who started at the beginning to be there to the end. All right. So you have a continuity of ideas and thoughts. Now, the subcommittee meetings, and we'll be advertising the dates of those. We are encouraging people. You could listen in on them. You could participate at the subcommittee level.
Got you.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm looking forward to it.
Please.
But we're talking about that, but we also have July 4th coming up. You have any things that you can tell us real quick?
Well, no, I could tell you. We're getting back to 4th on Flagler,
Yes.
which is our annual fireworks show. 9:09 p.m. We will be having
9:09, not a minute late.
No,
Not
9:08
and a half.
Not 9:10, 9:10, 9:09 on July 4th.
Okay.
The fireworks will be going off in the Intracoastal. Come downtown to West Palm Beach. We'd love to have you.
Yes.
And this will be our first one in 2 years. And I know people want to get back out. Get vaccinated, though. We'd love for you to get vaccinated. And but it's going to be a tremendous fireworks show.
Well, I wanted you to end on a high note, because I know we are looking forward to seeing those beautiful fireworks and engaging with our family and friends. Finally, that most of us are now vaccinated.
Yes.
So please, like I said, that's an incentive to be vaccinated. Now you can have free conversations.
There you go.
You go. Well, thank you, Mayor Keith James, for your time.
Well, thank you.
I just want to make sure, did you have anything else before we end?
No, but I would love for people to come. And let me give you an idea.
Okay.
Our first summit in December, we had 300 people, which is a lot of people, but we're expecting 3 times that many on Saturday, June 12th.
Okay.
So again, don't complain if you haven't participated in the process. We need to hear from you.
Right. Thank you very much, Mayor Keith James.
Thank you.
This has been another People of Power moment. And remember, knowledge is power. Katie London signing off.